Well, here we are, Chip Queso.
Hi, dump truck.
How are you, buddy?
I'm awesome. End of day 2, and there's no better place to be. It's sitting next to you.
Oh, I did take a shower today. I'm sure that doesn't hurt. And I also found some Dr. Hauschka, put it on my face, and it seemed to fix a few of the major problems we had going.
I think you're pretty.
Oh.
Speaking of pretty, this is a pretty neat matchup between No Coast and Green Country. We call Green Country just a couple of bouts ago come back and just have a nice win to make it to this bout.
Yeah, the road trip to this game, for Green Country especially, has been interesting. You know, they were the subject of an upset earlier this weekend in the second game of the tournament, I believe. And now they're looking to have their second upset as a win here at South Central Region Playoff. You know, today you were saying they just came together and made it happen. They really solidified as a unit, and they were not the same team today that they were yesterday at all.
No, absolutely not. Coming in the 8th seed, up against the number 7 seed here, but prior they were up against Tampa Bay. I did an interview with Electra Violet, and I was like, little old Green Country, Tulsa, Oklahoma, just beat Tampa.
Yeah.
And it was, a signature win for them, for sure. Not only, both them and Gold Coast. Not to mention, obviously, Omaha as well, but those two teams have come back and had some significant wins that will bring them back here, hopefully next year.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see these leagues that I'm not familiar with, but one league that I am familiar with, the No Coast Derby Girls, been playing solid roller derby, not just this season, but in seasons prior. So it's going to be a very big challenge for Green Country if they want to come out on top. But, it can be done. No Coast is going to play a very, very tough game, especially in that pack. You're going to see some really, really hard hits from their blockers.
Speaking of which, this is jam number 1. That is Perkylicious up against Flash Gloria in the black and white accents. That is No Coast, and white and green is Green Country, dump truck.
Perkylicious gets out of the pack in turn 4, and she's going to be your lead jammer for Green Country, who owns the first lead jammer status of this game. Again, as Queso said, the ladies in white and green are going to be Green Country, and black and white is going to be No Coast.
Finally getting through is Flash Gloria, the main jammer, if you will, for the No Coast team. But in control of this early on is Perkylicious as she gets through for 4 points, calling off the jam.
You know, a big part of that successful jam is the fact that they made Kelly rip a nipple off Kelly rip a nipple off a goat there at the back of the pack. They instilled that isolation play that lets them control the pace of the pack. They did that, slowed things down for Perk. She got through, picked him up, and it looks like Green Country's first on the board, 4-0, 28 minutes, 45 seconds to go, Queso.
Absolutely. Slam Anderson, 34 double D, up against 9 kilometer, number 40 on the inside, lining up as they slowly approach the pivot line, and here we are about to go.
Yeah. Looking for why that strategy was used. Usually it's used to get one of your fellow teammates out of the penalty box, but it is clear right now, so it just kind of milked the clock for a few extra seconds. Meanwhile, back at the pack, both jammers in the mix. And it looks like Green Country's jammer is going to be going to the penalty box, Queso.
That is 9 kilometers. She's going to spend a minute. The first jammer to the box, power jam for No Coast, as we are 4-0 here in jam number 2 early on as the pack holding up 2 wall in the backstretch. Now, finally, dump truck through.
Slam Anderson making it through the pack as lead jammer for No Coast with just over a minute to go in this jam, should she choose to use the entire remainder of it.
Lil Viach to the penalty box for Green Country for a minute.
Well, we were talking about that isolation play in the previous jam. Now No Coast is doing the exact same thing to one of the Green Country blockers. It doesn't last very long, though, as you see the pack has already gotten on the move again.
Absolutely. Up front, the 3 for Green Country. Holding the back, of course, is No Coast. They need to get up front in order to help their jammer through, make it easier, as it's kind of a split pack, even though that's not a correct term these days. It's stretched out, if you will.
Green Country now with the front 3 wall, trying to get broken up there by Kelly Ripanipola. No Coast now trying to usher Slam Anderson through the pack. She's got to get around Toxic Tequila.
9 kilometer back in the pack here. Also joining up at the front of the pack, she makes an inside move. Just a little push of the blocker out of the way, getting through, and that is jam number 2.
Hot Rod Havoc owning that inside line, gets just enough out of the way for a 9 kilometer to get right on through. Picks up those points. That's a nice jam there.
4-4 as we're going to line it up again. Jam number 3 dump truck. C32 would be Flash Gloria. 56 is
Temptress Storm for Green Country. It's going to be interesting to see how the jammer rotations pan out from first to second period. Whistle's blown. No pack situation. Allows the jammers to run free. Wow, nice move there by Temptress Storm as she gets through as your lead jammer for the ladies from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Absolutely doing a good job. Flash Glory being held at bay early in this bout. That is not easy to do. She's stuck up front, goes down to the inside. Care of Electra Violet once again. But here comes Temptress Storm scoring points. Gets knocked out there, dump truck.
Lil Viach there at the back of the pack trying to help out their jammer. Wasn't able to do so. Now she's going to the penalty box, and that leaves Temptress Storm back there all by herself trying to get around number 37, Brooklyn Hearts.
That is not easy to do. Is that slow wall there of black and white not allowing her to get through. Meanwhile, Flash Gloria finally emerges from the pack as the pack starts to scoot backwards, if you will.
Boy, that's some serious recycling. Nice work there by No Coast, eating up that clock, trying to make sure their jammer can make it through this pack as she's now at the front, trying to get around. It looks like, there you go, that's going to be a major out-of-play block.
However, the pack recycles her, so damage done in the sense that the penalty counted for something early on here. 4-4. This is going to be a contested bout as she finally makes it through. 4 points, followed by 5 points. Must have passed her through the pack.
You know, Green Country's really got to watch their penalties. If they want to be successful and come up with an upset here, they cannot spend a lot of time in that penalty box against a very experienced No Coast team. We do want to thank some of our official partners, Splendland Media, Union Vacations, Protect Dent Mouth Guards, and Skate Court. Of course, we want to thank every one of you at home that is avidly watching 2011 South Central Region Playoffs.
So glad you're here watching Perkylicious for Green Country, and that's Cleo Smackia for No Coast. Both jammers in the pack, but Cleo Smackia inside lead jam No Coast.
Lil Viach out of the pack for Green Country. Looks like she's going to rejoin the action now in the pack. The advantage is heavy in No Coast's favor with 4-on-2 situation.
Up front, Kelly Ribbon-Nibbeloff trying to hold the front wall. Perkylicious trying to make through, but on the inside, Cleo Smackia. Everybody caught sleeping for Green Country. Grand slam, No Coast.
Well, you've got a tight defensive core in there on the behalf of No Coast. You've got Kelly Ribbon-Nibbeloff. You've got Velvet Crush. Looks like you got Thicker Than a Snicka. And you also have, who's that, number 707, Straight Legit?
Yes. But Legit out on the outside, trying to get that point, staying on. Part of the pack recycled her. Is she going to get all 5? We'll have to see here. She's got a small 2-wall that Cleo Smackia is having trouble with, Dumpy.
Perkylicious still trying to make her initial pass through this pack. No Coast defense has been owning. Cleo still trying to get through, decides to go ahead and call off the jam. You know, if you're going to fight for that long, it may be time to go ahead and get the bread out of the oven.
Exactly, and that's a tasty statement. But up to the line as we go into jam number 5. 22 minutes, 35 seconds and change. And 18 in favor of No Coast, 9 for Green Country. Number 505, Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, what an amazing jammer. I really like watching her play. She fights through that pack from the back all the way to the front. She's going against number 40 for the All-Stars, 9 kilometer.
Absolutely correct, and 9 kilometer front, big hit to the inside, and that releases Cobra Kai outside lead jam No Coast.
Big hit there by Jew Don't Know, number 10, 55 on No Coast. Actually a Denver, Colorado resident and playing with No Coast this weekend.
Did not know that. Here goes the pack. Most of it forming in turn 3 and 4. Cobra Kai on the outside gets the points, calls off the jam. Does she get 4? 4 points for Cobra Kai.
It looks like 1 for Green Country there as well. But, I told you I like watching her jam. I'm glad she was listening. She showed you exactly why.
All right, here we go.
The No Coast fan section.
It's right behind us.
100% rear behind us. You can hear them all cheering for their No Coast Derby girls hailing from Lincoln, Nebraska.
They forced an official timeout, apparently for their awesome yellingness, or something that we will clarify when we get a chance. Meanwhile, Dump Truck, there's a bunch of people making a bunch of great things happening that you guys are watching. Who are they?
Well, in part, it's going to be Atom Wheels, the official wheel of the WFTDA. They're not just about wheels. They've also got some of the finest protective gear out there. Check them out at atomwheels.com or at any local skate shop in your area. We also want to thank Rydell Skates, proud partner and the official skate of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, for their continued support. Also, Elemental Technologies, the world's most powerful video processing solutions.
So many people to thank, so many helping out and putting the Women's Flat Track Derby Association on the map, and we are proud this year to be able to stream live from WFTDA.com. Again, here at historic Municipal Auditorium. Dump Truck, this is an amazing venue they've got here. Glad you guys are watching us at home. Too bad you can't be here. Hopefully that HD upgrade feed is showing them the venue a little more.
Yeah, the venue here is awesome. You and I have both been hearing Denouncer Dwayne over and over and over again talk about how fantastic this place is, and it's nice to know that your friends aren't liars.
They are not, and 2 other girls who are not liars are Flash Gloria and Temptress Storm, who just got knocked out in turn 1.
You tell the truth. Temptress Storm now making her way through the front of the pack, trying to go on the backside of the backstretch. Getting a big fight ahead of her, though, as she gets bumped out of bounds by Judo No. She's back to the middle of the action, but it looks like Flash Gloria is at the front of the pack now. Going around turn 2, gets through. What a fight there. She's lead jammer.
3 times the charm, because that is her 3rd jammer time at jammer line. She finally gets lead jammer, but hot on her heels is Temptress Storm. Pack is reforming. 4 up front for Green Country, 2 at the back for No Coast as they call it off before they hit the back of the pack.
Nice work there. It looks like no points scored in that jam, which means somebody just put in a lot of hard work to kill it.
Absolutely right. And speaking of hard work, both these teams been doing damage all weekend. Of course, the end of day number 2, but they're working their way back up for the right to continue on, as we saw Houston just win not too long ago here. These 2 teams are fighting for that magical 5th place trophy.
That's right. No Coast has 22 points so far on that road, and Green Country with 10, definitely still in it with 19 minutes, 46 seconds to go, Queso.
That is Perkulicious. She gets through. Meanwhile, stuck in the back of the pack is Slam Anderson. Finally going to make her way around once she gets past Electra Violet, which is not going to happen until she gets to the inside. So there she goes, and meanwhile, back of the pack, Perkulicious in control.
Electra Violet, one of my favorite blockers from the weekend. That is one exciting skater to watch. She is afraid of absolutely no one.
A lot of awesomeness all over the weekend, but she alone held back all 4 blockers for the other team in the previous bout. But the screams you're hearing, I guess, are the fans behind us, because we now have a power jam for No Coast.
That's right. No Coast has Slam Anderson on the floor, and that is the only person that can pick up points right now. And it looks like No Coast picks up 5 of them. That's a grand slam for the No Coast Derby girls.
18:45 to go. Only in jam number 7 already. Hotly contested as the pack has basically stopped at the backstretch. Now they're moving forward again. 1 to get past is Flash Gloria. Has to let her go. 5 more points. Slam Anderson.
Psychopath there with the hit there at the end. Now it looks like the pack has reformed. Green Country wants to skate, and that's a good move there. Quick set getting you out of trouble so you can get in a teamwork scenario. Green Country trying to keep that front 2 wall, and Judo No trying to break it up at every chance.
Good recycling to help her jammer out, but it sure is taking a lot of effort to get past those feisty Green Countries. And we got a jammer takedown there. Slam Anderson trying to get past, finally does pass. That's Jenna Tease, was teasing her, but now she's turning back going, I got a grand slam.
Boy, did she. And it looked like Green Country able to pick up 4 points behind her as well. Man, I tell you, there's absolutely not 1 point given away for free in this game. It's 37 No Coast, 14 Green Country, and we've got 17 minutes and 38 seconds to go, Mr. Queso.
That is absolutely correct, and there is no cheese here because I can tell you these leads are not going to be insurmountable, I don't expect. So 14-37, not a lot for Green Country. We'll see what happens. We go into jam number 8.
Yeah, this is definitely not a comfortable area for anyone to be in. Number 40, 9 kilometer, jamming for Green Country in the white jerseys and green helmet covers. And it looks like that is going to be for Nilco's Flash Gloria, number 32.
You are correct. 7:07 pivot for Green Country coming back onto the track. Meanwhile, the control up front by No Coast as they definitely have the momentum here. Both jammers finally getting through, emerging the front of the pack.
God, we just cannot say enough about Electra Violet. Gets up there and by herself goes, honey, I got you. I'll help you get through. And she positionally blocks in fantastic fashion, gets her jammer through.
And that jam is called off. Electra Violet is one of those derby moms because she's been around for a long time. She mentors everyone, and she has skill to go along with the mental capacity for the game. And she's just a treasure to have involved in this.
I can't agree more. She's been all smiles, and she definitely takes care of her team. Right now, somebody's about to take care of business on the jammer line. For No Coast, 34 Double D is going to be Slam Anderson.
And that is 56 Temptress Storm lining up on the outside slowly across, and we should get them released now.
There you go. Both offenders in the penalty box on their feet, meaning they have 10 seconds or less left to spend in that area before they can rejoin the action. And it looks like we're about to have 5-on-5, Queso.
That will be correct. Meanwhile, stuck at the very front, Slam Anderson cannot get past that 2-wall by Green Country. Down goes Temptress Storm in turn 1. Finally through. Lead jam, No Coast, and Slam Anderson.
No Coast still seems to be in control here, although they're in the lead. It's not a comfortable one. I wouldn't get comfortable yet until they had a much, much larger stride ahead of them than this. We've seen some comebacks, some serious comebacks here this weekend in Kansas City.
No doubt about it. Jam being called off before reaching the back of the pack. Comfortable. These teams should not get. And definitely, but I am comfortable sitting next to you as we are looking at this beautiful HD upgraded feed from WFTDA. Hope you guys have that. And you have something else to tell us, I see.
We do. You want to be comfortable, then you need to go ahead and make sure you have the right gear. You're putting your body through a lot of stuff out there. Check out Green Monster. They've got antique boots, reckless wheels, and moto bearings, revolutionizing roller derby. Green Monster Roller Sports.
All right, Flash Gloria number 32 as we have, she gets out around the outside and gets through for lead jam very quickly. Perkylicious for Green Country stuck in the back of the pack.
No Coast already starting their first pass. Oh my goodness, Flash Gloria picking up 5 points with absolutely no effort at all on her first scoring pass.
Derby seas were parted there. She had a free ride. And we've got, of course, Perkylicious there reclasping her helmet. It seemed to come unclasped, but calling off the jam is Flash Gloria.
9-point jam there for No Coast as they start to continue to pull away from Green Country here in the first period. Just a reminder, you are watching the 2011 South Central Region Playoff here in Kansas City, Missouri, hosted by the Kansas City Roller Warriors and broadcasted on WFTDA.com.
Jam number 11 here in period number 1. Last bout of the day here on our second day. It is Cleo Smacchia up against 9 kilometer for Green Country.
Wow, Cleo Smacchia on the outside of turn 2 gets through. She's your lead jammer for No Coast. 9 kilometer at the back of the pack as No Coast continues to show you what their defensive brain looks like.
Yeah, they definitely are doing damage. Coming back from that loss to Texas, they want to kind of keep going in this tournament. They're showing it here up front. Both jammers go, but inside, Cleo Smackia gets through. Not before 9 kilometer follows her, but 5 points awarded to No Coast.
Brookenhart's there trying to hold 9 kilometer back as long as possible. You gotta love it. Every last possible moment that No Coast can make contact with someone in white and green, they're going to do just that.
Now here we go. No Coast lining up Cobra Kai again. They haven't jammed since the 5th jam. It was successful, so they really have a relatively wide open, to some extent, jammer rotation, meaning that they're filling in some gaps and not focusing on just 2 or 3 jammers. It's doing work. Meanwhile, Green Country, and that looks like that's Temptress Storm.
Temptress Storm at the back wall of black and white, which is No Coast. Cobra Kai trying to get past the front 3 wall there of Green Country.
We're seeing the same thing almost happen at the back and the front of the pack, respectively, with the jammers both being stuck by walls of their own accord. Loosen up in the back. Cobra Kai stuck, hit to the inside. No jammer through yet, Dump Truck.
Wow, birthday girl Rodeo Diablo gets back, goes to help her jammer out by getting right there in the mix, trying to bust up No Coast defense. And it looks like right now, this is going to be a power jam situation. Major track cut on Temptress Storm. That is a huge advantage for No Coast Derby girls.
And Cobra Kai gets hit to the outside. Small jammer takedown, if there is such a thing. Pack formed up front. Green Country is in control. Again, a power jam for No Coast as the jam is called. Woo!
You know, I don't need much more to really tip top off this weekend thus far. You know, if I could get a kiss, that'd probably be about the nicest thing that could happen. South Central Region playoff has been fantastic. Oh, I wasn't being serious, Chip Queso, but thank you so much. Have you been using chapstick?
I have. Yes.
I am definitely going to wash my face after this.
Wait, did that just happen over the air? It's not about that. It's about the action on the track. We do have a timeout by No Coast. Oh, Derby Nation out there. They're watching us all over the world here on WFTDA.com. Dump Truck, this is kind of exciting.
This is, and you know, without some of our partners like Five Strides Skate Shop, the preferred shop of Bonnie Thunders, D-Range, Psychobabble, Susie Hot Rod, and Teflon Donna, this would not be going on before your eyes right now. And we've got a lot of other great sponsors here as well. Herbalife, making me skinnier than I was yesterday. Customized nutrition programs and coaching. Put more life in your game. You will appreciate it later on. We also want to thank RollerGirlSkates.com, a big part of the fun here at South Central Region Playoffs.
No doubt about it. All those companies, great companies. We couldn't do it without them. Support all of the people that support women's flat track roller derby or roller derby in general. Not matter who the gender is or where it's at or what style, as long as you are on some wheels on the track. Here we go, lining up Flash Gloria with the familiar blockers lining up on a knee, starting the jam immediately.
Kelly Ripa-Nibilov and Electra Voltage going right after each other from the get-go. Electra Violet.
Temptress Storm awaiting her turn. She'll have to serve when she gets out penalty box, but not before lead jam for Flash Gloria. Pack and a crawl, Dump Truck.
No Coast applying the strategy to isolate your opponent, to control the pace of the pack very, very well. It is almost second nature to these ladies in black to use this piece of strategy, and so far it's working for them.
Low block penalty on number 21 for Green Country. Meanwhile, Flash Gloria gets knocked to the inside, but then opens up another gate for her. She gets through for another Grand Slam.
Jammers having a lot of success from Lincoln, Nebraska today against Green Country, but it looks like Green Country's jammer is now out. Temptress Storm on the move.
Hot on her heels. Not sure she knows they're coming, whether it matters, but she calls it off quickly as she avoids a back block penalty on Kelly Ripa-Nibilov. Wow, good stuff here. 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go. and we get another period of it. Yay.
I know, that's why we're here. I'm not here just for half of the game. I want to see the whole stinking thing. And what better place to watch it from other than right next to you, Mr. Chip Queso, than at home on WFTDA.com.
We are so glad that you're here, especially those fans out there from supporting No Coast and supporting Green Country, and of course everybody else around the world watching us here on WFTDA.com. Here we go. We're about to start jam number 14.
It looks like it's going to be Slam Anderson for No Coast and Perkulicious for Green Country. No Coast in black and white, Green Country with white jerseys and green accents.
Just under 9 minutes to go here. Pack is not barely moved. Now they're in the back stretch. Stuck is Slam Anderson, held back by one. The pivot for Green Country. That's number 707. Straight legit, but through for lead jam. Perkulicious.
Perkulicious is through. She owns the jam clock right now. She can call this off at any time, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. What they need to do is put some points up on the board. Nice move there by Perk as she makes her way through the front of the pack into the inside line at turn one. That's a grand slam for Green Country.
Oh, I can't roll my tongue better than that. With 50 seconds to go, this is a time where you don't hit it and quit it. You keep going. You stretch out every single point that you can get to try to make your way back into this ball game as we wind down going into halftime.
That's right, Queso. She milked it for all it was worth, getting as many points as she could, getting through that pack, 2 of them to be exact, holding back No Coast to nothing. So that is a 6-point jam for Green Country, and they are definitely still within striking distance with only a 44-point difference between these teams.
44 points. That can be 2 power jams and a couple of great defensive work from your team. So we know that can happen. 7 minutes and 34 seconds to go. On the line, looks like Flash Gloria and dump truck number 40.
That's going to be 9 kilometer for Green Country in white and green. Wow. Meanwhile, back at the pack, it looks like Flash Gloria is going to be your lead jammer.
9 kilometer also gets out of the pack, so not far behind, but in control is No Coast. Only 2 in the pack for Green Country, 3 for No Coast. Here she comes, trying to get the inside line, but then it's Electra Violet. She can't be Superwoman every time.
No, she can't be. I tell you, what I liked in that jam, honestly, was the pack play by Green Country. They're down 2 skaters in the pack, so you only had a couple of ladies out there. You had Jenna Teese, who was trying to make sure she stayed out of the way of No Coast as they were going to use a positional block to get their jammer through, which is exactly what they did. Green Country knows what's coming. They're showing that they've got some derby minds on their team. They just got to stay out of that penalty box so they can do something out there on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. They are the definition of evolving over the last couple of years and through this tournament. But right now, we've got Tempter Storm, number 56 and 505, Cobra Kai for No Coast.
Cobra Kai working it out. Gets lead jammer status, but hot on her heels and almost in the back of her lift and separates is going to be Temptress Storm looking to kill this jam.
Looking to do so now. A little defensive work by Cobra Kai as she approaches the pack. Most of her teammates in the back. She goes ahead, goes and calls it off. Not sure if points were scored for them, but 2 points for Green Country.
Officials going over it with each other, making sure they get the numbers right. It does look like Temptress Storm picked up 2 points. No Coast picked up 0 on that last jam. And a big reason why No Coast picked up absolutely no points because Psychopath there at the very end sees the jammer from No Coast approaching the pack. She instantly engages the front 3 or the rear 3 wall that's trying to hold her back and runs for it until the jam can be called off. I'm telling you, smart pack play. Get your skaters out there and you can do some real damage.
Yes, absolutely. Waiting to be released would be Perkulicious and Cleo Smakia, who had a very good jam last time, trying to keep this lead ahead, but she gets knocked to the outside. Perkulicious trying to make her way through. Good defense by No Coast to hold her back.
We got the separation here again. You got 2 3 walls out there. One trying to stop Cleopatra, unsuccessful there. The other trying to stop Percolicious, and she is still caught in the pack. Lead jammer status is going to be No Coast.
1 3 wall passes the other 3 wall, and advantage No Coast, but almost getting through the pack was Percolicious. Then she goes down. Pack recycles on her, quickly back up and through, but Cleo Smackia already doing damage here, jam number 17.
Well, I tell you, the score 69-23, No Coast in charge. 4:20 left in this game, or in this first period, excuse me. And this is still going one jam at a time. There's no telling what the final score is going to look like at this game.
50 points between the two, because sometimes I can do math when the numbers are easy. 53-23 as we've got a timeout for Green Country.
Make sure you check out Dr. Hauschka's Ouch Aid, the WFTDA's official bruise healer. Lose the bruise with Dr. Hauschka's Ouch Aid. Fast Girl Skates is the industry pioneer in boot sizing and configuration for women's feet. If your foot is pretty, which mine is not, you should probably go to Fast Girl Skates and check out what they have for you. No one's going to fit you better than someone at Fast Girl Skates. And if you can't make it to the shop in Seattle, you can always go to fastgirlskates.com.
You know what I like about Fast Girl Skates?
No, tell me.
They've been around a long time.
True.
They are cool.
Ding.
They have fun and they smile.
What? Fun and smiling in roller derby.
They do that. They're very good for us. So you should check them out.
Hey, I concur, Doctor.
I'm a doctor.
That's why we're in trouble.
Exactly. Back to the action on the truck. Number 40 versus number 32. You're keeping track at home, right?
They're not going to answer you back.
9 kilometer and 32. Flash Gloria.
Flash Gloria quick to get through the pack before she exits turn 2. Already having somebody point at her, letting her know that she owns that jam clock, able to call it off at any time. Meanwhile, it looks like 9 kilometer having some serious traffic problems. Caught in Cleveland, and no end in sight thus far, but it looks like she's starting to get to the front of the pack just after 5 more points. Goes to the side of No Coast.
Meanwhile, trying to get through, but not having a good day as of yet. 9 kilometer, at least in this jam. Approaching the back of the pack is Flash Gloria. She's going to score points. Gets through easily. Doesn't count if you trip over your own teammate. 5 more points for Flash Gloria. And we've got a power jam because going to the box. Wow, 9 kilometer for.
Looks like it's going to be a high blow major. It's a high block. You cannot hit above the shoulders. That's known as the neck and head region. You got to leave that alone in women's flat track roller derby. Otherwise, you're in the middle of a power jam.
Electra Blue trying to do what she can against Flash Gloria. She gets through, but has to go. Now she gets sent out. That's the end of lead jam. And then, she passed the line you're not supposed to pass. And she has to go back around, all the way around. That's going to add extra time, basically, to her penalty.
It'll do that, but it'll also eat some more time off this clock with only 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first period. Right now, No Coast up 88 over Green Country's 23 as the power jam now comes to a conclusion, and 9 kilometers at the back of the pack waiting to be ushered to the front and make her initial pass.
She's got about 7 seconds to do whatever she can here, which isn't much. They've got to let her through, but what she gets is not lead jammer status and no points because the jam is over.
Wow, so much happening on the track during that last jam, Queso. Neither jammer really wanted to stay out there.
Now, I was going to say before Flash Gloria went to the penalty box, but I'll go ahead and say that they have solved that problem. First 2 jams couldn't do anything about Flash Gloria. Third jam, she finally has to work hard, gets lead jam. She's gotten lead jam the next 6 times.
Yeah, you get her in a rhythm, and it's going to be hard to break it. That is faux show. Temptress Storm on the jammer line for Green Country in white jerseys and green helmet covers. She is the only one out there in this power jam. Advantage, Green Country.
If somebody can help break that, Temptress Storm is one of those types of jammers, but that 2-wall by No Coast doing their job. She's trying to work through, take out the Oreo filling. I'm going to get through those black jerseys, but not yet. Wow, good work up front by the pivot for No Coast.
My Lord, I tell you what. Power jam now to a conclusion, and instant, just like a Carnation breakfast. Flash Gloria gets through that pack.
Lead jam, last jam, goes to the box, comes out of the box, gets lead jam again because her defense has about 3 circulations holding back Temptress Storm. And passing her up, eligible for that jammer lap point before it's called off. We'll see. And she gets it. Dump truck, 5 points.
I tell you what, you're going to love that in an instant. That is for sure. If you're from Lincoln, Nebraska, you like the score you're looking at. Going into halftime here pretty quickly. 93 points for No Coast, 23 for Green Country. We've got one more jam to go before we're going to call it locker room time and then meet again for period 2, Queso.
You are absolutely correct. And the way that we're going to end this is Perkylicious on the line on the inside. Slam Anderson for No Coast. Out of play for the No Coast players, releasing the jammers. Dump truck.
There we go. Slam Anderson trying to force her way to the front of the pack. Getting some help from her friends, but she goes out in turn 2 while Perk is trying to stay in bounds just before she exits the pack. Successful jammer there is going to be Slam Anderson, but she's not going to be your lead jammer.
Minor infraction, not sure. Referee did not signal it. Either way, the jam is called off because lead jammer was awarded to Green Country, and it looks like we're going to go into halftime.
Here we go into halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, at the 2011 WFTDA South Central Region Playoff, No Coast Derby Girls 93, Green Country 23. And it's been an exciting first half thus far. Green Country kind of being one of the fan favorites here at the tournament as they have showed their ability to be able to improve from one day to the next. Their attitudes are fantastic. That being said, you can hear the crazy No Coast fans that are here as well supporting their ladies from Lincoln, Nebraska. And on the track, it has been amazing. Green Country showing their knowledge of the game, just needing to keep their players out of the box so they can apply that knowledge. No Coast showing that they're a force to be reckoned with from the first whistle till just before the half, Queso.
Yeah, so stick around. It's going to be a great second period regardless of what you see on the scoreboard. Hello, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey, hi. All right, we're back. Derby Nation, Derby World, 93-23. No Coast over Green Country. And I want to start off this second period, Dump Truck, because it's already been the weekend's halfway over. Can we start having fun?
Ooh, now you're pushing it.
We
got to
serious?
have a whole
we
nother
are
day of this seriousness.
I know. I hope you're doing
All right,
this.
okay, this one time.
Okay.
There's one time you and I, we can have a good time. Well, right now, what's happening on the track, you're seeing the officials go through doing their final safety checks before the second period starts. We cannot reiterate enough how important it is to stay safe out there on the track. That's one of the big reasons our officials are there. And, all the gear that's involved with safety is required.
It's absolutely the most important thing around the world. Everybody has to stay calm, stay safe, and stay important. We're glad to have our medics here keeping the skaters safe and our officials making sure that the rules are abided by.
We also want to thank Dr. Hauschka, the WFTDA's official bruise healer. You can stop by the booth if you go to any of these major Big 5 events, or you can check them out at the local skate shop somewhere near you. Dr. Hauschka, healing the bruise for the WFTDA.
Quick tale of the last period. The score tells it true, but also 14 lead jams versus 3 lead jams. No Coast to Green Country. First jam period 2. Who do we have, Dumpy?
Looks like it's going to be Flash Gloria for No Coast going against 9 Kilometer for Green Country. If you're just now joining us, No Coast is going to be in black and white. Green Country in white jerseys and green helmet covers. This game starting in the second period, 93 Go Coast. And then it's going to be Green Country at 23.
No Coast and Go Coast here today, Dump Truck, but that's okay.
There's so many coasts. So many coasts.
Meanwhile, Flash Gloria out front getting through 5 points. Grand Slam again. She has been on a tear since jam, her third time at the jammer line. And meanwhile, the pack trying to hold back number 49 Kilometer.
Kilometer still trying to get through. And here comes Flash Gloria approaching the back of the pack. And she's going to be ushered in by Kelly Ripa-Nipolov, but there's a pile-up in the backstretch. That does not slow down Flash Gloria very much, Queso.
Who calls it off very quickly. That is correct, from her knees up on her feet and through the pack very quickly as that jam is called 102-23.
And that brings us to Cleo and Temptress Storm on the jammer line for their respective teams. NoCo's going to start to pack off owning the front. Green Country, they want the rear.
5 or 6 jams. Green Country has been held at 23. Jam starts immediately. Tempest Storm trying to make a hole through, trying to get same thing for Cleo Smakia in the back of the pack.
Well, she is just being enveloped and engulfed by that sea of black at the front of the pack, but it's not stopping her from fighting at all. Looks like you got Thicker Than a Snicker up there, one of the main blockers in this very deadly front 3 wall. Man, that took a long time to get through, but staying diligent's worth it unless you're going to cut the track and then cause a power jam situation, giving No Coast a huge advantage.
Which is exactly what has happened. Cleo Smakia still, though, has to get through. Judo No went to the box just a minute ago, so she is down a blocker, but through the pack and for lead jammer, Cleo Smakia.
Cleo Smakia's got about a minute, 10 seconds to make some things work here for No Coast. No Coast with a handed lead right now, 102 over Green Country's 23. Cleo now in the middle of the pack, trying to fight her way through the front. Got to get by the Green Country front wall.
Letitia Lesson sent to the penalty box for No Coast. Picking up speed is the pack headed by Electra Violet and a wall of Green Country. Trying to hold back the one that is Cleo Smakia. Trying to get through turn number 2. Cannot get past that 2 wall. Still held by until she went down. Electra Violet. Cleo Smakia didn't see it. Oh, they gave her a cut. Although on the ground was Electra Violet.
Wow, that is an interesting call, which makes things look good here for Green Country. Wow, as Tempest Storm gets through the pack this time, now she is going to be able to pick up points.
10 seconds to go. We'll see if she can get at least a couple on the board as the pace is picked up. She gets at least 1 as we wind down here. The end of jam number 2. Oh, and a huge hit.
Big hit turns her into a human pinwheel over there in turn 2, but she's quick to get back to her feet.
Looks like she's grimacing just a little bit there. She is. That's not a smile. That's a grimace on the bench.
It's a hard hit when you land sideways like that. It's all bone trying to go right through your muscle, right on top of that skate court, which has been fantastic to skate on, but not fun to fall on.
Ouch. And you're right, that skate court that they have here is looking good. The girls are loving it, but now we are going into jam number 3, period number 2.
This is still a power jam. Advantage Green Country. Pergoliches jamming for the ladies in white and green. Gets bumped out of bounds in turn 1, and it looks like she's picking up a minor back block, trying to get through this pack. Boy, NoCo's defense has been strong, Chip, from the very first jam. That's been their MO. They said, you know what? Our jammers can play the offense. Our pack is going to be defense all day long. And it's been working for them. You can check the score out for yourself.
Yeah, defense does win championships, and also in Derby, it helps prevent that other team, not only from scoring, which is an obvious point to make, but they have learned something over the weekend, and the defense is picked up as we have lead jammer out of the box for Cleo Smakia.
And it looks like Green Country's penalty box has now emptied out. The key to this game is still going to be staying out of that penalty box for Green Country. They've been showing us they know how to play the game. They just got to skate more technically and stop picking up these minor penalties and some of these needless majors.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, of course, this lead is not insurmountable, 109-26. Although at this point, the best thing that Green Country can do is just continue to push and work hard and evolve, hopefully to get their way back into this or come out of the tournament with positive momentum for next season.
9 kilometer on the jammer line for Green Country and Flash Gloria for No Coast Derby Girls.
Slowly across the line, the pack is about to move. Jammer's waiting to be released. Not yet. Wait for it. As Electra Violet is telling her team to move. And there we go. Jammer's released.
Flash Gloria goes to the outside. 9 kilometer right over the apex. Just a little skip move there, Queso. Gets her through the pack, and she's your lead jammer now.
Everybody looks outside with that jammer, but inside sneaks by for lead jam. as we've got the pivot going to the box for No Coast. Meanwhile, Flash Gloria looking to play a little defensively as 9 kilometers approaching the back of the pack.
9 kilometers at the back of the pack, but what I want to draw attention to is that front four wall of white jerseys. We've been seeing No Coast and talking about No Coast defense all day long, and it looks like Green Country's very aware of how to play some D on their own.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hot Rod Havoc up there trying to cause havoc, doing all she can, finally getting through. She's going to, Glass Gloria is doing damage, but she is going to need some Dr. Hauschka later on for sure.
You got to heal the bruise with something, and there's nothing better. Looks like 9 kilometer at the front of the pack going against Kelly Rippenippoloff. She gets let go. The jam gets called off. 3 points there for Green Country.
Did you see the look that 9 kilometer gave Kelly Rippenippoloff as she came around going, you've got to let me go, but it was all with the eyes.
Sometimes you ain't got to move the lips to get your message across.
Exactly. Speaking of which, Slam Anderson on the inside and Tempter Storm for Green Country lining up on the outside.
You know, we talk about the toughness of these athletes on the track. You saw Tempter Storm take a big hit over there earlier in turn 2. Goes sideways down, whimpered a bit, folded a little bit, but does that mean that she's done with this game? In no way, shape, form, or fashion is she going to stop playing this game if she can still stand on 2 feet.
Absolutely. A short official timeout. Not sure exactly what was going on there. Obviously, some clarification. Meanwhile, we've got Electra Violet in the box. She hasn't been in the box, I don't believe, here too much today. Here we go. Once again, Slam Anderson and Tempter Storm.
And we're 3-on-3 in the pack. No Coast owning the rear. Green Country trying to keep it up front, but there's no holding back Slam Anderson, and she breaks that front 3 wall.
Finally getting through is Tempter Storm, but not before approaching the back of the pack is Slam Anderson, looking to put more points on the board, taking an outside line, gets squirrely, but picks back up. One to get by. Big hit.
Nice bouncer with a massive hit in turn 1. I can respect a woman with a name bouncer, especially if she can back it up.
And back it up she did. Wow, that was a great hit there, ending the jam respectively. Let's line it up because somebody's going to go take a seat.
They are. Right now it is No Coast 112. Green Country 29. We've got 21 minutes, 25 seconds to go in this final period of this game.
Green accents white would be Percolicious on the inside. Black and white, number 505, Cobra Kai, jammer for No Coast, as they are slowly about to pass the line to release the jammers.
Green Country definitely wants to get on the moves. They see No Coast bench starting to empty out. Wow, Cobra Kai goes to the outside line, Queso, and she busts through that pack. She is your lead jammer. Wow, looks like that could have been a late hit right there. She was out of play.
Looking to force a cut on Cobra Kai, but Cobra Kai stays in line, and meanwhile, she gets a penalty. That would be Havoc gets a penalty. She goes to the box.
Now we're heel to steel as far as jammers are concerned. They're completely opposite the pack right now. This is doing nothing but helping out No Coast. Cobra Kai knows how to play some defensive jamming, and she's doing it right now, just taking that clock and winding that sucker down.
Percolicious smiling through her mouthpiece. Cobra Kai playing defensive. Clock just eating away as we're at 20 minutes. A lot of time, but hey, Cobra Kai calls it off. Success 0-0 for No Coast.
Thanks to the following tournament partners, we are able to bring you not only this broadcast, but the entire Big 5 tournament swing. We do want to thank Jules Doyle Photography, Derby Skins, 5on5 Magazine, Sin City Skates, TICSkateGear.com, and Vanilla Skates.
Flash Gloria on the line for No Coast. Number 40, 9 kilometer for Green Country.
Wow, Flash Gloria on the outside of turn 2. Untouched there. Gets through. Lead jammer, Queso.
Yeah, that was a sweet move and quickly. Meanwhile, held to the back of the pack is 9 kilometer. Coming up to score some points is Flash Gloria. The pace has picked up. Now in front and eligible to score is 9 kilometer, but Flash Gloria doing damage.
I tell you, there's no sleeping next to that jukebox that's going on because No Coast is playing some sweet music if you're from Lincoln, Nebraska. Out there staying dominant on the track. Flash Gloria feels really good about that last jam. She gives a little pump up, goes back to the bench like, all right, coach, when can I do this again? That was a good time.
Oh, footloose and fancy free. The people are dancing on their toes in Lincoln, Nebraska. No Coast, of course, last year they were great hosts at the regionals last year. Now back here trying to move on, trying to get the right to play Houston for 5th place.
Playing Houston for 5th place is definitely going to be on their mind. You get a trophy for that position, you get remembered for that position, and it's a lot of hard work to take it. We've seen that there is really no determining from position 3 all the way down to 10 here in the South Central region. You cannot determine who's going to be on top. It's a fight all the way to the finish. We're going to show you that tomorrow. But Queso on the track right now.
Lead jam slam Anderson for No Coast. Meanwhile, number 707, which is straight legit, first time on the jam line, finally getting through, trying to get some fresh legs for Green Country.
Really important to do right here. I think Green Country going to start using the rest of that bench and start sharing some of the love there with the jammer helmet cover. Doesn't help them out there, but No Coast only able to pick up 1 point.
Well, and let's be honest, and, even the folks at home, big props to Green Country, but at this stage of the game with 17 minutes to go, 117-29, it would take a bunch of power jams and some definite change of direction of play here.
Don't forget about the horseshoe.
Yeah, and the horseshoe.
It's got to be pointed up, though.
Otherwise, Green Country, one of the things that they can start doing is they can start trying some new things and see what works and doesn't work, and maybe that helps evolve them again going into next season. But it's not over, especially for No Coast. Lead jam, number 32, Flash Gloria.
Boy, that hurt a little bit. Flash Gloria now approaching the back of the pack, where she's going to find Percolicious, who has yet to be able to leave that area, thinking that a snake has been all over her for this jam thus far. Flash Gloria does move through the pack in turn 2, picks up a 5 points. That's going to be a grand slam for the No Coast Derby Girls.
Slows down to play defensive. It was only the first pass through for Percolicious. Now they're just kind of playing a little jammer on jammer funness on the track. Calling it off is Flash Gloria, but I'm sure mutual respect for both those jammers as they've really tried to put it together for their team today.
Yeah, they really have. It's been an uphill battle for a lot of these teams here this weekend. No Coast included. They did not expect to be here. They were hoping to continue to push forward and be contending for that 3rd place trophy. But this is what tournaments do. These are your proving grounds, and this is proving to be an exciting game regardless of what the points look like at this point.
No doubt about it, and a beautiful way to finish off day number 2. Again, we are glad you are out there joining us at Show Me Derby Q, South Central Regional Playoffs. On the line, who do we have, Dump Truck?
It looks like we are going to have 9 kilometer on the jammer line for Green Country, and Cleo Smackia for the No Close Derby Girls.
Slow pack there, almost getting to the back stretch. Cleo Smackia trying to work Green Country. Jammer takedown from the pivot of Green Country.
Well, she is all over Clea. That's number 21, Bouncer. That's my girl who had the big hit over there in turn 1 a few jams ago, Chip.
Not before Cleo Smackia finally gets through. A lot of effort to get there. Lead jam for No Coast, and sent to the box will be for, 4th minor track cut, 4th minor for 9 kilometer.
Power jam going for No Coast, Chip, and it looks like they are just going to continue to march on around this track with 15 minutes to go in the final period.
15 minutes to go here. Like I said, 127-29. Cleo Smackia looking to add to that point total. Electra Violet up front along with number 50, Psychopath, trying to hold her back, but they cannot not hold back the one that is Cleo Smackia.
Pack starting to slow down right here, Queso, as No Coast is just wanting to milk that clock and hold that pivot back there. If they keep hanging on to that pivot, then they control the pace of play, and keeping it slow is what Cleo Smackia wants while she goes up against this front 2 wall of Green Country.
Oh, absolutely. Another big hit there from the Mad Magazine. I think that was Judo No. Cleo Smackia trying to get past number 1,000, Electra Violet, forced to call off the jam, but good success again for No Coast.
No Coast has it together. Their eyes are on the prize. They're looking at tomorrow right now, Queso. And I wouldn't be surprised if now that we are under the 15-minute point in the second period, if they might not start trying a few new things so they can start getting warmed up and ready to go for the fifth-place game tomorrow versus Houston Roller Derby.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. I'm looking around the venue to see if any of the Houston girls are paying good attention to what is going on here with No Coast because they've turned it around from their previous bout. Cobra Kai jamming for No Coast.
And 9 kilometer coming out of the penalty box for Green Country. This started as a power jam, but it was very short-lived, Queso.
It is, and lead jammer goes to Cobra Kai. 9 kilometer stuck in the back of the pack. No Coast continues to dominate, getting through the pack, getting that lead jammer status, and controlling this bout.
Wow, 9 kilometer just blowing off the blocker from No Coast, who went for a hit there and just could not land it. That's going to be number 101, Letitia Lesson.
Boy, that was a pile up there in turn 4. Looks like somebody was throwing midgets, but they weren't midgets. They were roller girls piled up. Got up quickly. End of the jam. Great stuff here. Just under 13 minutes to go.
No Coast is showing right now they're going to play to the very end of this game. They're not going to take any time off. They're not going to take it easy, not for 1 second. Now, on that note, Green Country is showing us that they're going to do the same. They're going to continue to try and play the game that they came here to play. They're going to continue to skate fast and turn left and hit somebody on the way. You got to love what you see. You got a lot of fight in one team and a lot of fight and a winning attitude on the other. It's fantastic. These girls that are playing each other giving us a great show this evening.
Flash Gloria for No Coast. And that looks like that is Perculicious for Green Country. But your lead jammer is Flash Gloria. Dump truck, she's jammed 14 times today, and only 3 of those times has she not been lead.
You'd think that she actually enjoys playing the game. It might be a little bit fun for her because right now she's just playing around out there on the track and picking up points one hit pass at a time as she re-enters the pack and starts a scoring run. Moves to the inside of the front stretch, trying to get by the last couple of Green Country blockers.
Having a tough time there, even though she's in control, not going to call it off, going to go ahead and keep working. She has worked her butt off all weekend long. That 3-wall really holding her back. They're going to have to let her go, and they do. Flash Gloria finally destroying the pack penalty at 5 points.
There you go. That's what she wanted. She got all available points on the floor. Kelly Ripanivalov going against. Looks like that is going to be Perky-licious. Hold her back for as long as possible, but she does get out of the pack.
Flash Gloria eyeing what she's got. Not sure if she's aware how close behind. Maybe she is. She calls it off. Good work. 4 points to 0. Beautiful, beautiful work by Flash Gloria, who was last year, if I remember correctly, the MVP of the tournament. Or she won some award last year for sure.
Well, one way or the other, she's doing a great job for her fans from Lincoln, Nebraska, that you can hear right behind us. Either there's 1,000 of them in one shoebox, or they're all just sitting right behind us. Either way, we're having fun here at the 2011 South Central Region Playoff.
Oh, absolutely, and talk about changing it up. Putting new on the line, 34 TY Toxikilia for Green Country, and the jammer for No Coast looks like Slam Anderson.
Toxikilia making her way to the front of the pack. Her first time jamming, and girls got lead jammer status. You love it. She's been fighting the entire time in that pack, trying to land some explosive hits, and now they're going to give her a shot at jamming, Queso.
These are the times I was talking about. Next year, she's probably going to be on the jam line because the experience she gets this year, put it together, trying to do what they can in this bout to come out with some positive notes. This is one of them.
Well, it sure is. Man, she gets through that pack, Queso, like she's listening to the broadcast. That's a grand slam, Green Country.
Toxic to kill ya. 5 points. She is having a great time. However, No Coast still up front, holding back. Pack to a crawl around the outside again. Look at the move.
Oh.
And she hit her hip to hip. They're not going to call that as a penalty. 4 points for Toxic to kill ya. Hop, skippity dance.
I tell you, the roof is coming off this building right now. The entire place rooting for Green Country. You got to love the Derby love that's everywhere right now. Man, did you know that South Central Regional Playoffs was also going to be a good time?
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I heard from everybody else, but apparently it is.
I read about it somewhere, and it's a good thing somebody did the research because they are right in every way, and I'm looking forward to this, Queso.
And you know what else? They play Derby here, and you know who plays Derby on the line, jamming unopposed for Green Country, Electra Violet.
This is going to be interesting. One of the main blocking forces from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now with the star helmet cover on. Moves to the outside, the back stretch. Gets through. She's going to be your lead jammer for Green Country.
Oh, Electra Violet having the time of her life like we called her earlier. She is like a mother to these Derby girls, but skills and athleticism aplenty, mainly a blocker, getting lead jam.
Oh, man, I love it when a team knows how to ignore a score. They are going one jam at a time. Electra Violet is up against the front four wall of No Coast Derby girls, and the two blockers from Green Country doing everything they can to hold back the jammer from No Coast, who is going to be Slam Anderson.
Oh, going for her fourth minor penalty, a minor back block. Electra Violet, but you know what? She's having a good time. She's going to go in on the next jam anyway.
I know.
And meanwhile, Slam Anderson slams into the back of some Green Country girls, then comes out the outside again, and that looks like, and yes it is, a major back block.
Major back block. Nice work there by Lil Viach with that hit just before Slam Anderson exits the pack. Now it's round 2 in this jam for Electra Violet to be that wrecking ball she loves to be. Just this time, she'll pick up points for laying down damage.
Right, lead jammer relinquished. She's got 20 seconds to show her skills and help her Green Country. This is why we were having fun, folks. The score is what the score is, but Green Country kind of growing up,
right
in
before
front of
our
our
eyes. It's beautiful. Big hit out there in turn 2. Everyone from Green Country goes down. Only 2 skaters with white jerseys on at the end of that jam were set to play.
And she's going to have another story to tell because she's going to have another major penalty as Electra Violet goes to the box. I think it was a back block. I saw her signaling low block, but it was a back block. Either way, she's in the box, and we love her to death. However, No Coast still in charge, 146-41.
Yeah, back to the real story is who's going to come out of this game with a win to go play Houston tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It looks like it's going to be No Coast, but it also looks like we have some really fun roller derby coming right ahead of us.
Cleo Smackia emerges through, gets lead jam. 4 blockers for her, only 2 for Green Country. Not a lot you can do with a micro amount of blockers being Green Country as she approaches the back of the pack.
Cleo Smackia, getting knocked out of bounds in the front stretch by number 707, Straight Legit.
She gets called out for a major forearm and back through, scoring more points being that would be Cleo Smackia because she
looks like she cut the track and picked up a forearm penalty. So she picked up 2 minors. So every time she passed an opponent at the hip, none of them counted because she didn't do it cleanly.
There you go. You don't see that very often as they get through and you see a fist instead of fingers up in the air by that. So thanks for the clarification on that dump truck. Meanwhile, still trying to get through and score points, Cleo Smackia.
Smackia gets bumped out of bounds again by Psychopath. And that's going to bring that jam to a conclusion. No Coast picking up 3 points there at the end of that jam. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go in this final period of day 2 of the 2011 South Central Region Playoffs.
So again, dump truck, we're Green Country. We're winding down. We're not going to win this one. What are we going to do? Well, first off, let's send in Toxic Tequila. Okay, then let's send in Electra Violet. Okay, who's next? Hot Rod Havoc.
This is just a good time. And folks at home, you're welcome. Looks like Cobra Kai is jamming for No Coast. Trying to go to the outside. Gets put out of bounds by Jenna Tees.
Oh, and as she goes out, that being Miss Hot Rod Havoc, she got a major penalty. She's going to sit down. Cobra Kai has the opportunity, and she gets lead jam.
Took a while for her to get into lead jammer position, but she's in it, and I have a feeling she's going to take full advantage of it now that we're at 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the second period.
Just under that magical time spot as we are winding down here. Period number 2. Pack to a crawl. Turn number 3. Cobra Kai gets knocked out. Back in. Around. Trying to make a move past the last Green Country blocker. That looks like a Perkulicious.
Reaching back for a whip. Getting it and busting through with 4 points of her own. Cobra Kai, ladies and gentlemen, working it out.
Oh, man. She didn't get the 5th because of a minor track cut, but does get the 4, extending to 153 to 41 for No Coast. Nice move, lifting up her foot on the inside. 5 more points, Cobra Kai.
9 points here in just the last few seconds of this jam. Looks like Havoc's back out there in the jammer slot for Green Country. And there are bodies going all over the place. Havoc through the pack right now.
All those bodies went down. She's looking around thinking it's called on her, but she is still on the track. And she is jamming at a very nice speed there. About to pass. Oh, Cobra Kai calls it off.
Just in the nick of time. No Coast there with 1 point on the attempted final pass just before Cobra Kai calls it off. I really like Fun Roller Derby. Oh, my girl, Bouncer. She's going to be jamming for Green Country. And I approve.
That is absolutely correct. She's starting back about 20 feet, of course. Cannot be accelerating, but you do not have to be exactly on the line. That is number 726, Dropkick Muffy for Mad Maxines.
Bouncer gets pushed out of bounds in turn 1. Got to get around the back 2 wall of No Coast. Wow. Squeezing out of that pack. Both jammers have now been released. Number 726, Dropkick Muffy, is going to be your lead jammer for No Coast, who's got her eyes on Bouncer right behind her. She calls off the jam before either jammer can pick up any points whatsoever.
Not stopping the effort by any stretch. 2 minutes to go here in this bout. Number 37 going to the line for the Mad Maxines. First time as a jammer, Broken Hearts, and we saw her, and you're going to start to love her. Number 34, TY, Toxic Tequila.
You know, this is when we started the fun jams. That was who was wearing the helmet painting, and she's back out there now. Going against number 37, as you said, Broken Hearts, who I believe hasn't jammed yet this game either.
Could be the last jam, potentially 2 jams, depending on what we see here. 128. The jam clock is at 147.
Jammers are released. Broken Hearts going for the inside line.
I don't think that No Coast wants to see Toxic Tequila get lead jam. And getting lead jam is going to be Dropkick Muffy for No Coast.
Broken Hearts, the jammer for No Coast, is your lead jammer. She's approaching the back of the pack, trying to get right on through. Gets stopped there a little bit in turn 2, and now pushed out of bounds in the backstretch.
Gets knocked out, has to get back of the pack. Pack recycles her. Meanwhile, Toxic Tequila approaching the back of the pack, looking a little winded, but doing her best to try to put a few points in while she's wearing the Jammer's Star. 40 seconds and change.
Tequila looking to pick up some points. And Broken Hearts sees that, calls off the jam. No points there for Green Country. And it looks like a full 4 for No Coast Derby girls.
And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, out there, there's some magic in Oklahoma, and it's from a little old place called Green Country. There's magic from them in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They're going to be back. They've done really well. We're glad that they made it here this year. Big props to their league.
That's right. There is no smoke and mirrors when it comes to Green Country Roller Derby. They came here, I believe, their first time to this tournament, the South Central Region Playoff, and they have shown that they're here to play roller derby, and they will give us a great show. Regardless of the score going on the board, we always wonder what you're going to do. If it looks like you're going to lose the game, you're going to hunker down, you're going to play roller derby, and you're going to have a good time. That's what you do when it looks like the other team's going to come out on top.
Yep, absolutely. Slam Anderson is lead jammer. Right there with her, the Green Country jammer, which is Perkulicious. We're winding down. No Coast in charge. Dump truck.
Perkulicious, lead jammer, trying to tell her blockers to run. Goes to call off the jam and gets tripped up there. right at the very end. Does get back on her feet, though, and No Coast knows what the end game of this is going to be, Queso. They're going to go see Houston tomorrow.
Absolutely a date for 5th place. And we've got a final score of 163 to 41 in favor of No Coast.